Hey, happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of 3 to Grow. I'm actually commandeered a friend's office. He's not in here. We'll see if he walks in. Maybe he'll make an appearance on today's video. Hey, just a couple topics I want to share, a quote of the week, and then I'll get you on your way to your weekend. So here's the first one. The first idea is it's me, not you. There's this thing in psychology called the attribution bias. And here's how the attribution bias works. Let's say I'm late to a meeting. And I'm late to a meeting, and when I walk in late to the meeting, I'll give you 100 reasons why I was late. I got stuck talking to someone else. I was behind a train. Traffic was miserable. The roads were slick. I was on a phone call. I had to get an email out. I'll give you a bunch of reasons why I was late. All of them are external to me. But if you're late to a meeting, it's because you're just a bad person and you don't value other people's time. See the difference? We have a tendency to attribute other people's bad behavior to their character, but our own bad behavior is always done to external circumstances. So let's remember that as you interact with people on your teams, that if they do something that bothers you, that you think they're just being rude and disrespectful, let's make sure we aren't attributing that behavior to their character, because I guarantee you they could give you a list of reasons why it had nothing to do with them. The real work of leadership is to help figure out what the underlying issue is behind the actions, behind the behaviors, so you can get it worked on. Okay, second idea is about resolutions. So we are at January 12th. Did you realize that most New Year's resolutions usually crash and burn sometime in the first week or so? So you're 12 days into 2018, and you probably made some commitments to yourself, maybe as it relates to your leadership, especially hopefully as it relates to your leadership. In fact, if you've watched any of my stuff, I challenged you guys to take some time to look back and look ahead. Remember, what do you want to be famous for in 2018? What are you going to do to grow your own leadership in 2018? So maybe you committed to read more. Maybe you committed to ask for feedback on a regular basis. So we're 12 days in. How's it working for you? Have you been reading those 10 pages every day? If so, you're 120 pages in. You should be well on your way to completing your first book. Have you gotten that feedback? Have you watched that many TED Talks? Have you read that many articles? Don't stop when the feeling ends. A lot of times we make goals and we set resolutions based on an emotional feeling. When that ends, that's when the work begins. When break's over and it's hard to read those 10 pages a day, that's when the work begins. That's when you carve out time intentionally on your calendar, block it off and say, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to go to sleep until I get those pages read, until I read that article, until I watch that video, until I send that note to reach out for feedback. Whatever it is, you're only 12 days in. If you have some goals that you set for yourself as a leader in 2018 and you've started to waver a little bit, now's the time. Snap them back into play. Okay, let me give you the quote of the week. And I had one I was going to give you, but then I saw this book sitting on the desk here. So I'm going to pull one out of here because there's this idea that I really like in here. And it actually comes from Deming. And he's talking about people and behavior. So here's the quote. Anytime the majority of the people behave a particular way, the majority of the time, the people aren't the problem. Anytime the majority of the people behave a particular way, the majority of the time, the people aren't the problem. What is the problem? It's actually the system. So if you have people acting the same way all the time and you're going, well, the system's fine, the people are the ones messed up. If the majority of the people are acting that way, it's not the people, it's the system. Leaders, you guys make a difference every day. That difference can be for good or for bad. That choice is yours. Thanks for all the work that you do in driving the organizations that you're a part of forward and intentionally caring about your people. Don't forget, think differently, lead courageously, and live passionately.